It's a blessed Sunday, all champions and intercessors. I send my greetings to you, and I hope and I believe that you are fine, you are well, and that, of course, the Lord is keeping you and protecting you. We are once again meeting on your show as we are looking into what is happening around us. Quite very interesting developments that are happening, especially in our neighboring country in Zambia. I'm sure that a lot of us taona tega kuti chakabvondoka hazvina kumira mushe. This is exactly zvataitaura, the issue that we were talking about just in the past days. Hichilema pelted with stones by Zambians for endorsing Samia shame election. You see, nyaya taitaura musi uya kuti Hichilema's life as a politician will never be the same again after the visitation yaakaita kuna Samia, right? Sikhuluma indaba leyi last time sithi tina impilo ka-HH, political life yakhe ayisoze vele ifanane from today and onwards. And indeed, we are now beginning to see ukuthi exactly Zambians have already started to demonstrate that they've lost confidence in this man. And usually, I don't know. I'm still really very sympathetic with him. Atizivi kuti pressure chayo yake iri kumboyatsobva kupi. Like the other time we were talking about the economic situation. Kuti probably was trying to save the economic situation in Zambia, but then the decision, I think, was a little bit lost. You see, there are problems that I think we are beginning to see. Panama problems are kuitika mu party ya Hichilema. Remember, just in a few days ago, just about 2 days ago, we saw one of his ministers achitaura. Just imagine, achitaura kuti kwanzizo electricity ichangova continuous for 3 hours of every day. And then he said, you should all clap hands for me, even if you are angry. Just imagine, you don't speak like that, and how it's like, language yezvigananda. Ndo language yezvigananda yatinoziva, zvigananda zvinoshotesa, zvichitaura rubbish, zvichitaura zvinorwadza kuti hapana zvamunombotiita, and so on and so forth. You don't speak like that, instead of being apologetic or strategic in speaking to Zambians. Hichilema's own minister says that I'm announcing that electricity is going to be continuous for 3 hours only. And then he says to the people, clap hands for me, even if you are angry with me. I think that was very irresponsible. People really looked so disturbed when he said that. So that's not the only one. Again, there was another funny minister again who said some other things. Do I remember what he said? The other time I saw a video and I said, how is this really Hichilema's minister? Why is he speaking like this? These guys, I don't know what's happening with the guys that are working with Hichilema. And then he himself personally has done the blow to his political party. I don't think it's going to happen, because we saw what happened there at the football stadium. We saw also when he was trying to address people, and then stones were thrown at him. Then a lot of other people were commenting, saying that no, it just happened in an area where Hichilema is not liked, and so on and so forth. But that's not the situation with the rest of the country. But I don't think so. I think now the supporters of Hichilema vakuda kutanga sevarakash manje, right? Vatanga sevarakash. Where's varakash? Kana vadyiwa nenyaya tinovaziva zvavanoita. They can hide behind a strand of a grass. Vanozviita izvozvo, where you find that they are clutching on straws, really, while the river is just sweeping them away. But definitely Hichilema's political life will never be the same. And I can assure you that from now and onwards, Hichilema must begin to watch out, because this coming election in Zambia is really not going to be an easy task after this incident of Samia. But was it worth it? That's the $1 million question. Was it really worth it? Because, looking at other leaders, especially in Southern Africa, right? They all stayed away. Mnangagwa stayed away. Ramaphosa stayed away. Boko Duma stayed away. The newly elected Mdara Mtarika stayed away. The guy who Angola stayed away. We won't even talk about Swaziland. We won't talk about Lesotho and all other countries, rather, in Africa, in Southern Africa. Out of the 16 countries in Southern Africa, how many presidents stayed away? You see? So I don't think really this old Magogo angachanyanya kuda kupanicha Hichilema that much. Kuti say usina kuuya and then want to punish Hichilema, while a lot of other presidents did not go there. And this corner justification in that, really, to be honest, I'm not seeing any justification, because it's not only Zambia that is doing trade with this Tanzania, right? There are many other countries that are trading with Tanzania, and whose presidents did not also go. So I don't think his argument, that excuse can really hold water. I think it's just, it's nothing. It's just much ado about nothing. But for what we have seen in the response of the Zambians towards Hichilema, this marks the beginning of a very mammoth task that lays ahead of Hichilema. It's a bad one. And Nalini, it was obvious that he was heading for a disaster. Hichilema will start using excessive force to de-escalate the situation and for him to secure a second term in office, right? So this is the video. Maybe something the video.
Natumfwane mkwai nishikilia mabwe
naipena bakaba naipena abantu bambokubutika mulanda bambokuposa mwe pachiwe mparako pachiwe mpala bali chiwe mpala kuno kuchiwe mpala bakateka bachira pera speech apo so government bambokuposa mabwe bambokuposa mwe babarumengo apo so president wafiro kwata meeting mirari n'abarumendo so abantu abambo kusarangana kora kwiregurira
barabara abundu bone barabasereka ndishimwa bakusefu barabari kuranga mayiga tayikatani problem.
So this is what happened in that place, and it seems like this could end up being that kind of situation Hichilema is going to continue facing as he stands before Zambians. There's no guarantee really that if he's going to be going to other places, he may not meet the same kind of resistance that we've seen there. Very, very sad and very pathetic for Hichilema. And nobody would ever blame Zambians for this kind of response, because I think when Vatungamira vanoti him having been one of those people that especially Southern Africa have been looking forward to kuti ndivo champion the change we were expecting in Southern Africa. This was really a very great treachery on his part, and quite a lot of people really are not in support of him. Vanhu vakawanda abantu abaningi vele vakuruma endaba leyo kuti hai Hichilema has betrayed the majority of Africans who are progressive, who want to see or expect to see life getting better and getting rid of these dictators and so on and so forth. And people like him who fought so hard to win over a dictator, arrested so many times, tortured, thrown in prisons, blocked in his campaign rallies, and all the like, these are not the people that we expect to side with the same caliber of people. Siding with Samia was the greatest error that Hichilema has done in his political career. I don't think that is going to make any other error worse than this one. And it's now just a matter of watching and looking at what is going to be happening. But I cannot promise you that the political career of Hichilema still has a feet to run. I don't think so. I don't think so. So Tunambumira maybe we are rushing ahead of ourselves. Atimbomira itimbona kuti Hichilema paachano addressa Zambians again in any other gathering later on. Pachabuda say toda kumbona response yacho. If he is not going to become autocratic akutotyisidzira vanhu and the like. I'm saying kuti sifunuke sime mbichara sibona kuti Hichilema nxa engaba lenye rally kumbe egathering azabe address ama-Zambians sifuna ukuthi kuzaphuma njani kuleyo discussion ebuyayo, because this one already has demonstrated that Zambian people have already given up on him, disappointed, and they just want him gone like today and not tomorrow. So looking at the other parties, there was this gentleman last time we did a show. We were talking about this gentleman who was speaking on BBC. You still remember, who was once minister, was it of foreign affairs, if I'm still correct? We played him here speaking on BBC at the CM party or something like that. There's that one, and of course there's the PF party of Lungu. We want to then see which party is going to start emerging a little bit stronger. But I was saying that the Lungu party, since the party that was once in power, it could still be having a little bit of grounds and grassroots. But the people, whoever is taking over the PF party from Lungu, those people should have learned a lesson. They must have learned a big lesson from the mistakes that were done by Edgar Lungu, and they should not come back with the same behavior and character that Lungu had portrayed. Otherwise, they will also not last. So if they are there, if the PF party is going to be rising and surfacing, then they need to change the way that they have been handling their administration during the days of Lungu. As I think what happened to Lungu, do you know, it remains a mystery. That issue, it just died a natural death, no updates, nothing. Even the Zambian government itself just decided to be quiet after the last defeat in the South African court of the Lungu family. We did not even see whether the body was finally repatriated to Zambia, whether it arrived in Zambia, whether it left South Africa. Nobody knows. I was telling you the other day, someone Akuna news kuri quiet, and everything is just quiet, right? Even that guy who used to report a lot, that Muzungu guy, he's quiet. He never touched that story again. Soon after the last defeat in the High Court of South Africa. So up to now, we don't know. We don't know. Until we shall hear maybe some other people that would want to start to talk about it. But for now, it's really dead. It's dodo, it's quiet, it's zero, nada, nothing is happening. So we don't know exactly. I don't know personally myself. Shakapira say, Yalungu yakago almost right. Anzi wakazimbira mabasa nevanhu vemunyika yake nedzimwe nyika dzakamutenderedza, right? Hana kumira mushe. But this was not about Tanzania, but about lack of electricity in the copper belt. But generally, the Zambian people were complaining. If you look at comments that Zambian people were writing there, I went through comments on many different posts of when this thing happened. You'd hear Zambian people are talking about the Samia issue again. Of course, I'm not disputing what you are saying there. It could be that, but also I think the shame election of Samia is also added fuel to the fire, because most Zambians that were commenting were talking about when they were castigating Hichilema, they would not leave out the issue of Tanzania, which means it's really maybe contributory to other problems, of course, that could be also happening. And anyway, anyone connecting Nembuya, your letter end is down. Sorry, sir, you asked for it. Surely you did. As HH is going to Tanzania, HH going to Tanzania, maybe he had good reasons, best known to him, but politically that was a bad move. Yes, you can do a good move, but which can be politically wrong, and then at the end of the day, it might end up, costing you. So this is what is happening. We need to keep looking. Brahim is saying, I saw somewhere where they were saying Lungu's body was in Zambia last week. I never came across any article that spoke about that. Okay, probably, but we haven't heard of any burial. If it was arriving, maybe, but maybe the burial has not been done or postponed, or I don't know really. If I get anything, or if you get anything about Lungu, you can also share with us, so we can share with the rest of the family, so people may know exactly what is happening. But we are still watching and waiting to see what is going to be happening. Otherwise, this is what it is. Let me thank you so much for joining me on the show. We have the Dark World, right? Dark World season 31. It should say 31 or 32, somewhere there. I think 32. We are going to be going straight to it just after this show. So for those that love the Dark World, I know quite a number do love the Dark World. We need to keep on keeping on. Let's move on. And before I go, I think let me say this. Remember, I told you about channel yedu new one. Channel yedu new one yakanzi Freedom Gospel with Chatufa. And it's no subscriber to that channel. And it's no subscriber to the channel. Because very soon tinenge takumuvira among my shows ikoko. Freedom Gospel with Chatufa. Let's go and subscribe. Especially for those that love the Dark World, make sure you have subscribed to the Freedom Gospel with Chatufa. Otherwise, the other day, Mushango Shai wa Dark World Mozunz wakuti yakatoitwa but inenge yakaitwa that channel. So please let's go and subscribe. Ikoko TV gadzira abanga abatandi Dark World kakulu say subscribe ku Freedom Gospel with Chatufa. He new channel yetleyo ngakhuluma ngayo last time, ngake ngafaka ama links ayo. Ngizabe ngithi ngeviki le ngizabe ngilifake link ukuthi likwanisa ukuyibona, ukwanisa ukuya subscribe. Any day siyabe sishiftela, especially Dark World and so on, siyabe sibashiftela to that other channel. So ungasaleli ngemuva. Let's act quickly as we speak, so that you don't remain behind. Otherwise, let's meet in the next show, which is the Dark World season 32. We are going to be doing the 7 trumpets, part B of it. Thank you once again. Be blessed. Love you all. We meet in the upcoming show. Shalom.